There's the old spiritual saying that time does not exist. That's in the spiritual communities, and it's also in the sciences where you deal with higher dimensional frequencies. And there's also the teachings in many writings in spirituality that humanity is moving from the 3D to the 5D. But what we got to ask ourselves is what's happened to the 4D, the fourth dimension. Because if you don't understand the fourth dimension, how are you going to jump from the 3D to the 5D? So that's the catcher. You must get educated on what the 4D is, because a lot of people still don't get it, because what's throwing them off is somebody told you that time don't exist. But what is time? See, Einstein, he did came up with relativity, the general laws of relativity. But it's really dealing with the measurement of movement of objects. Listen at that. And we all can relate to that. That's what makes our events. That's how we make our appointments. That's how we meet people. Because all throughout your life, everywhere you go, no matter not only you have a location on when you're going to meet somebody, what fills in the gap is when y'all meet at a certain time. Meet me on Rainbow Street. Okay, I'll meet you at Rainbow Street. At the library. Okay, at the library. And then what fills it in is when you say at 2 o'clock. Now, keep in mind that clocks are man-made. Yes, they are. But they're just isn't man-made just to sit there. They are a measuring tool, just like a ruler that measures the length, width, and depth of something. So our clocks are a measurement of the movement dealing in space, the movement of objects, so we can coordinate and have better lives. Oh man, we got to get this. Because I remember Jasmine Heen said, perfect health is time management. And that always stuck with me, and I got it in my teachings today, because once a person start mastering their time, that's when you can move beyond time. And what I'm going to explain to you what that means. Because a breatharian is being fed and nourished from the fifth dimension. And all that is at a subtle energetic level that you cannot see, but it exists. And the math proves it's there. And usually they got about 10 to 11 different dimensions, some higher, dealing with the fictional math. But yet still, we being humans powerful like we are, once you start understanding these subtle forces, it can make your life a whole lot better. Oh man, this is good. Now just keep listening at this now. So you gotta admit that you're living your life for time. When you meet people, have different events, different schedules, and you're moving through space. You're moving through space. And as you're moving through space, you got this energy field that's preceding you, that's going around your body, that's affecting the space you're in. And that's why when you're in a group of people, not only all of y'all affecting each other's energy field, every new person that comes into the group, that walks into the room, changes the whole energy of the room, changes the whole space. Oh, this is good, ain't it? And we all felt that when a person changes the whole space. Some people's vibrations, whether it's high or low, are stronger than others. Some people will come into a space and it changes the whole mood because they changed the space. Now, how do they change the space? Now, again, we got these electromagnetic fields around us, and what it's doing is affecting the molecules that's in space. Oh, yes, these gases that we live in. So, and you felt it, or somebody get angry inside of the group. It changed the whole molecules or how they're vibrating within the space. Now, listen at this vibration, because back in ancient times, they said everything vibrates. And in modern day science, they're saying the same thing. Everything has a frequency and everything has a vibration. Oh man, this is good, ain't it? But that's timing. Why is it timing? That means it's already vibrating, but if you raise the vibration, you raise the speed, is vibrating faster. That's timing. See, it's just a word, but it has great significance. Now, the reason Einstein said the general laws of relativity, because time is relative. Everybody's time is different on how they're looking at an event, and it could be totally different. Sort of like one analogy, you got a person on a train, a moving train, and then you got a person that's standing there outside the train. And if two lightning bolts was to hit the front of the train and the back of the train at the same time, and then there's a speed of light that's coming from those lightning bolts. They're going to travel, and the person that's outside the train, they'll probably travel to him at the same time. So as he's looking at the event, he will say, the lightning bolt struck the train simultaneously. But the person that's moving on the train, the lightning bolt struck in the front and the back, boom, boom. But as the wave started to travel through the space, and the train is moving, the front wave will hit him first, and then the second wave will hit him, and he will say, I heard the lightning hitting the front back first, and then the back second. So both of them seeing the same event, but the time changed due to their position of where they're standing. So when the ancients said that time don't exist, it was just that they didn't go in detail on what they meant. But in this age we at now, we are in detail. And you must get a grip on time now, because perfect health is time management, and it means everything to the Breatharian journey. Everything. Because there's many people whose lives are real chaotic. Real chaotic. Their timing is messed up. Their schedule's messed up. Their plan is messed up. There's dreams they want to do in life, but they don't know how to put it together. Then all of a sudden this person comes to them. Start looking at their life, looking at what they're doing, looking at their schedules, and then start putting things in order for them. And it will equalize their life, equal it out, where they have better time to smooth things out. And then those goals and plans they want to do in life, now they become a reality, because now you got a scheduled time of dealing with objects, movements, because everything's moving, to really pull that off on what they want to accomplish in life. Now, when we talk about raise our vibration, we're molecules put together. So that means you want to raise the vibration or the timing of the body. You want the molecules to speed up so it could give off another frequency. When you get to another frequency, even though all of us is connected to the other dimensions, to some people it's more far away due to the density of their vibration. But the more you speed up your synchronicity of the body, the timing of the body, to speed it up, then those other dimensions become more of a reality, or you start being more of a partaker of it. So that when we say the higher subtle forces like the gamma rays and stuff like this, your brain has the ability to give off gamma waves. Now you already give off theta waves, and it has a frequency. That's when you're in aware awakening state. Then you got the Bravo waves. Then you got the Delta. Then you got the Theta waves. And the Theta waves is real key, because you can get in that state. That's when you're in a sleep state, but it's like a sleep-awake state. And you also can achieve that state through deep meditation. That's why we say meditation is the foundation of the Breatharian journey. And through meditation, you can start changing the waves that comes off the brain. They're a little lower than radio waves. And you can start upping the waves and start getting more gamma waves in the brain, because you need a brain that gives off more gamma waves in order to start tapping in or affecting the other dimensional frequencies that come into the body. I hope this is making sense. But if you keep saying time don't exist and ignore it, and don't do nothing to navigate your life to start putting that time in check, so you can become the master of your time, you will never experience those other dimensions. See, sometimes spiritual knowledge, something gets out there and people take it literally, but you're in denial about what's taking place, because movement is taking place. Sort of like when the sun comes up on the horizon, it's coming up at a certain time. We even got that because we measured it. And when it does that, it automatically affects the body to bring the serotonin coming from the pineal gland. And as it goes across throughout your day, and it's moving fast too if you ever get out tracking the sun, it's doing all types of things at certain times for the body. There's a time the energy's more here. There's a time that's more here. So you are in time. But if you ignore time, that can be the fall of you having bad health. Now, I tell people when they get the breatharian knowledge, you got to go in a deep self-retrospection and see how is the timing of your life. Some people's in relationships, some people's in the marriages, you got your job, your workplace, your friends, different events you like going to. And when you get on the breatharian journey, when you want to develop more discipline, because you're trying to go from one lifestyle into another, and it's going to affect all those things, believe me. Breatharianism isn't nothing when you put tape on your mouth and act like that's change supposed to take place and you're going to continue doing the things you're doing now. This is a holistic lifestyle where everything you're doing is either going to give you more energy, what we call nourishment, or it's going to pull a lot of energy from you. And you'll start equalizing those things to see what it is and see how you need to straighten it out. And those things that's pulling a lot of energy from you, some things you might have to go around and get rid of it and make those changes. Or this is what they mean by going inside. When you change yourself, you change the world around you. Now let's make this make sense. Remember when we talked about the person walking in the room? They got this energy field all around them, no matter who it is. It automatically affected the space that's in the room because you're so powerful that everybody's affecting the molecules around them. That's why you create your reality. So when you understand that you might be in a situation that seems stressful, try changing your vibration to change the space that people are in, and it starts changing the people. Not only it changes your outlook, it changes people's outlook because we affect one another. That's why the good thing about the high vibration, that's why you should seek it if you want a better life. The higher vibration influences the lower vibration and it brings it up to another degree. That's why we're all one entity. But you must understand this when you're dealing with the movement of time, because all it is the movement of objects, the measurement of the movement of objects. So a breatharian does have a different frequency than the average person. Because just to get gamma waves in your brain through meditations, the different energy cultivations, you're going from, and it's measured, from 30 hertz and above. Some say from 30 hertz up to 140 hertz, but that's on the machines that we got to calculate that. Believe me, it goes a lot further than that. We just don't have the technology that can take it further. Even your energy field goes a lot longer than what the machines can calculate. You got to understand how powerful you are. So that's why this is a good age we're in, that this knowledge is out here now, and the whole vibration of the planet is raising, without a shadow of a doubt, even for me to do this message. Oh man, this is good. And see what's happening when you meditate, and you start getting this energy that's in the atmosphere, and I'll be saying this all the time, that the sun gives off enough energy in an hour to the earth, in 1 hour, that can fuel all the industries on the planet in a year. You're in so much energy, you don't know it. You live in it. This is what the space you're living in. I don't care where you at. Just by living, by the time the year go past, it's going to be like you had at least a minimum of 36 x-rays coming to the body because you're living in radiation. See, the sun, let's make it plain, that's a nuclear power plant. That's where we got the fission and fusion technology from, the study of it. You live in it, affected by it. So that don't mean you need to sit directly under the sun. That's why there's some famous scientists, Neil deGrasse Tyson, how he says all the guts, all the sun is in your guts. The universe is in the guts of you. What was an other name? Carl Sagan used to say that. Right, because you're part of the bigger picture. You're the microcosm of the macrocosm. It's sort of like a dollhouse. A dollhouse is a microcosm because it's a miniature replication of something that's larger, something that's bigger. We are the same way. A human being, humanity, a society, a social structure, a country. You are a miniature representation of the world. That's why we got a thing called a collective consciousness. All of humanity is thinking way differently than they did 100 years ago. Think about that. Everybody is. We're thinking way differently than we did 500 years ago. All the collective consciousness moved. That's why we're one entity. So that's why when I say when you change yourself, you literally change the world, that is true. And dealing on these timings, there's a thing called the arrow of time. So not only we think different in these different time periods, we think better than those different time periods. There was a lot of ignorance in the past taking place to where we're at right now. Yes, there's still ignorance here, but it's going to keep moving forward. We got the most information than ever before dealing with the effects of not eating. Different type of fast. Over a decade ago, a doctor would have never told you to intermittent fast. That would have been bad. But now that's all across the table. You know, eating out at least a certain time period and stuff like this. Why? So it can raise your vibration. Everything you put in your body changes the frequency, changes the vibration. Now listen at this. Changes the timing of how the cells of your body are vibrating, how the molecules are vibrating. So if it's vibrating slower, the frequency is going to be lower. If you raise the timing of it through different habits, different cycles, different times. That's why in the Old Testament they kept talking about these set times and cycles, set time, when to do this, when to do that. Even the Songs of Solomon, it got a great one talk about it's a time to do this, a time to do that, a time to do this. Right, master time. A man or a woman that masters their time is free. Then you're freed up in the fifth dimension. You're in bondage where you're letting your time get away from you. And this is what physical immortality is talking about. You have mastered time. You are time. You are navigating the forces around you and you know it. So peace and blessings. I hope you got a lot out of this. Keep up the good work. What I noticed was, if I wanted to change the world, I had to change myself. So as I put more dedication into myself and began to allow the light to develop me through surrendering, and at first there was times I felt like I wanted to give up. But when I just stayed in there, the light wanted me to grow all along, so it also was helping me all along. That's what I noticed. And when I noticed this is why the universe is user-friendly. As we in this age of light, this predetermined thought, everybody is coming willingly or unwillingly as we go into this new world of light, awareness, and peace, happiness, health, and joy for everybody. So as I began to keep developing myself more and more, I see the mirror image of myself bring about the new world. Being on the path, the main thing is to be consistent. Because when you be consistent, it won't be long before you'll feel that volt of power, that volt of energy that gives the organs vitality, that opens up the channels, that give you life and strength so you can move on and live life to your fullest. Keep on going strong, and keep up the good work.